Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Bryant with SFFT Source, your premier unofficial guide to Six Flags Fiesta Texas, and it is time for another info vlog. So unfortunately we're not going to make it out to Six Flags Fiesta Texas before Fright Fest begins, but this info vlog is going to cover everything that has to do with Fright Fest this year. We're going to take a look at all of the live entertainment, the haunted houses, the scare zones, everything that is new, everything that is coming back, everything in between, anything that we think you might need to know about the event. Now before we get started, it's important for you guys to know that we have a full Fright Fest 2018 guide up at sffftsource.com. It's been up for a while now, but it has the most in-depth information for Fright Fest found on the internet. I'm going to give you guys a quick look at that right now. So our website works on mobile. If you go to sffftsource.com, you will see the website here, and there is a Fright Fest 2018 guide link right at the top when you load the main page. You can see everything is broken down into tabs here. So here you can see essentials, we have park hours, weather, there's a full interactive map for everything that is included for Fright Fest. And of course, if you click on these tabs here, go to haunted houses for example, it's going to show you all kinds of stuff about haunted houses. You can see descriptions, locations, etc., etc. So, very handy guide for those of you who are planning your Fright Fest visit. Alright, so the first thing we're going to look at for Fright Fest 2018 at Fiesta Texas is the scare zones. There are going to be 5 scare zones this year, and for those of you that don't know what a scare zone is, it's basically a location in the park, usually on the park pathway, that is full of monsters, theming, set pieces, fog, all kinds of stuff. They're usually activated at night, and if you walk through these areas you can expect to be scared and expect a more intense experience than walking around normal parts of the park. So there's actually one new scare zone this year, and it is called Soul Harvest. For those of you who have been in the past, the Chupacabra scare zone is actually gone from the Texas State Square section in Los Festivales, and it will be replaced by Soul Harvest. It's going to have a dilapidated barn setting. It's going to be secluded. I've seen some renderings. There's going to be a huge barn. It's probably going to be pretty intense and pretty cool. So we're definitely looking forward to the new Scare Zone edition. There are 4 other Scare Zones that are actually making their return to Fiesta Texas, and one of those is Aftermath. Now, Aftermath is located kind of right in between Crack Axle Canyon and Spassburg, right over by Lone Star Lil's Amphitheater, that pathway right there. So basically what this is like a post-apocalyptic kind of setting. You'll see some mutated people, some rebels, lots of body parts and war-looking set pieces there, and we're actually going to throw in a quick video of the Aftermath Scare Zone from last year. Alright y'all, we're going to do the Aftermath one again. There's a lot more scare actors out tonight than there were last night, which is nice. I like that mask. Ah yes, the old can't get through the fog trick. Oh. Neato. Also making its return is Circus Berserkus, and this is a scare zone that is clown themed, and it is located inside Fiesta Bay Boardwalk. This one has shifted location a little bit. There is a pathway between Rockville and Fiesta Bay Boardwalk right by Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster on the side of Rockville High School, and that scare zone is actually going to kind of move down into that more thinned out area, so it's probably going to make it a little bit scarier. And we're actually going to drop in a video of this scare zone right now.
You do like high knees, man.
And one of my personal favorites is coming back, and that is Wicked Hollow. This is a witch-themed scare zone in the Spassburg section of the park, and it's really cool. They have really creepy voodoo doll type of things going on. They had witches, they had werewolves last year, so it was pretty cool. They had a giant demon thing walking around. Now the important thing to know about this scare zone this year is it is actually moving to a new part of Spassburg, and it'll be over by the new haunted house right across from Bugs Whitewater Rapids, that little pathway area. And we'll talk about the new haunted house later, but just a heads up, it's not going to be where it normally is. I'm sure the addition of Grand Carousel in Spassburg has made that change a little more inevitable. And here's a quick clip of Wicked Hollow from last season. Here's the Wicked Hollow scare zone. We got us a spooky monster on stilts, just like last year. Really awesome. It's actually a fairly small scare zone, but it's definitely really creepy. This all looks really cool over here. And of course, coming back to the Rockville section is Zombie Apocalypse. Now this area of Rockville this is the last time it's going to actually be Rockville. It's going to be DC Universe next year, so this could be the last time we see this scare zone. Who knows? It's full of zombies that are themed to Rockville, themed to the 1950s. It's very fun. There are cars, there's a bus, all kinds of other props that make the pathway a little harder to get through, fog. And we're actually going to drop a video of Zombie Apocalypse in right now. We're over by the Zombie Apocalypse scare zone, and this bus here has huge horns on top of it, and every once in a while it makes really loud noise and scares everybody. It's hilarious. So in previous seasons, the scare zones are activated at 7:30 p.m. each night, and we expect that to probably be kind of the same course of action this year as well. So for those of you who don't want to be scared, I would be out of the park before 7 for sure, but you're probably safe until about 6 p.m. and then things will start really getting amplified in these scare zone sections once the awakening happens. Alright, next up we're going to look at the haunted house lineup for Fright Fest 2018. And what is the most important part about the haunted houses? It's that they are free. So that's right, if you have paid admission and you go into the park, the haunted houses are included. Now that is kind of a double-edged sword. It makes the haunted house lines incredibly long, and it makes it particularly difficult to ride rides, see shows, and do other things while you're at Fright Fest. But they do sell upgraded packages. We do not have the pricing on these packages yet, but they do have a few different packages to choose from, and they're actually not too crazy in terms of price. If you are a Diamond Elite member, you will actually get a wristband that will allow you preferred entry into all of the haunted houses an unlimited amount of times each time you go to the park. So if you're Diamond Elite, you will get that upgraded pass at no extra charge. If you are a Diamond member, you will get a voucher that lets you go into each house one time with an upgraded pass. So keep that in mind. Diamond Elite gets unlimited. The Diamond level gets the one-time upgraded voucher entry into the haunted houses. It's also important to know that the upgraded membership levels, the Diamond and Diamond Elite, they don't actually get to use any type of discount to buy additional haunted house passes. This is a really smart move by the park because a lot of people tend to abuse the discount system, and it looks like they're going to put a stop to that, at least for the Fright Fest haunted houses. So the first haunted house we're going to look at is the Midnight Museum of the Macabre, which is their all-new haunted house. Torture Chamber is gone this year, and this haunted house is actually located in Spassburg inside of a new building behind Studio 6F. So it is a permanent install, which means this thing should actually get theoretically better and better each season. So this haunted house is kind of themed around a museum, obviously, and there are supposed to be morbid collections, intense curiosities, all kinds of other crazy things. You'll probably see some mutated people in there. I don't know what you want to call them, monsters, but I think it's going to be really fun, and we're looking forward to it. One important thing to note about this brand new haunted house is that if you are a Diamond or Diamond Elite member, you will actually have an hour early time to actually go check this haunted house out without any other guests being in the house. So I would recommend, if you're one of those upgraded members, that you would check that out before the other haunted houses open. Returning this year is also the Blood Bayou Haunted Trail. Now, this was new last year. This is in the queue line of Goalie Washer in Crack Axle Canyon, so it is actually an outdoor trail that is a haunted trail, you could call it. But this is kind of campground themed. You'll see some park rangers and some other crazy things, but it's really fun because they use the setting around them to kind of encapsulate this idea and make this a little bit more creepier than it would be inside in a normal building. So really fun and creative haunted house, and we're glad to see that coming back this year. So one of the better themed haunted houses, Buried Alive, is coming back. That is located in Crack Axle Canyon, and it's basically an abandoned mine shaft that is haunted, and you actually start the haunted house with a pretty cool feature. I'm not going to ruin it for you guys who have not been in it yet, but all I can say is very fun haunted house, very well themed, and we're glad to see it coming back as well. Carnival 3D is coming back. This is actually located near Pandemonium on Fiesta Bay Boardwalk, and this is a clown-themed 3D haunted house. This actually wasn't one of my favorites last year. We'll have to see what kind of improvements are made. It was new last year, so we're hoping they improve a lot of it this year. I did hear the park president say that they are trying to definitely improve the haunted houses that they already have to make them better for the guests. Rockkill High School also is coming back this year, and I think that's one of the fan favorites. This is a haunted house inside the Rockville High School performance venue, in Rockville of course, and this is actually themed to the school itself, and you walk through different scenes from Rockville, and it's full of monsters and zombies and other things. It's very fun. The final haunted house is Slaughterhouse 6. This is actually located next to Roadrunner Express in Crack Axle Canyon, and just like the name says, it's a slaughterhouse. A little bit disorienting, but definitely a good time. We anticipate all of these haunted houses to open at 6 p.m. nightly, with the exception of the Blood Bayou, which is outside, so that should open a little bit later at 7:30 p.m. each night. Remember, the brand new haunted house should open at 5 p.m. nightly for Diamond and Diamond Elite members, as they have that hour of time exclusively to check out that house. Alright, next up we're going to look at the entertainment lineup for Fright Fest. Now, one thing that Six Flags Fiesta Texas is known for is that awesome entertainment lineup, and it's great to see that there is the addition of a new show plus 3 returning shows. And I just want to say, you know, I'm happy to see that this park has not cut down their entertainment for Fright Fest, because that's happening at a lot of parks in the chain. If you're a Diamond or Diamond Elite member, we definitely expect there to be priority entry again into the shows. Usually you gotta show up a little bit earlier. They let you into the theater before they let the rest of the public in, and you kind of get to pick your seat. So that's another great perk for Diamond and Diamond Elite members. So the first show we're going to talk about is actually their new show this year, House of Bones, and that is coming to the Zaragoza Theater. What that means is Dead Man's Party is gone, it is no more, and it is not returning. So we have this new show, and it's going to be kind of spooky New Orleans themed. There's going to be a voodoo master, a gypsy queen, they're going to have their own little band, and they're going to sing Halloween themed songs, so we're looking forward to the new show. We also want to talk about the fact that The Arrival is not coming back. That is the show where the monsters come in on the train into Whistle Stop. That's not happening. They are transitioning into a new show called The Awakening, and this is going to be happening park-wide. So at 7 p.m. each night, there will be monsters running out into the park from various locations. We don't know where, but we were just told it's park-wide, and this is kind of how the scare zones will be set up, and Fright Fest will be amplified each night into a more scary setting. Next up, we want to talk about Monster Boogie. This was a brand new show last year in Teatro Fiesta. It's coming back this year. It'll be interesting to see if it has any new songs in it. It may not, we don't know. but it's a fun show. I'm gonna drop a clip of that show in right here for you guys. Another fan favorite is returning, and that is Rock Apocalypse. That show takes place in Sundance Theater, which is located in Crack Axle Canyon, and this usually features a couple singers, a live band. They do tons of classic rock, and it's a really high velocity show, if that's what you want to call it. I definitely like it. Here's a clip of Rock Apocalypse from last year. And of course, returning is Monster Mash Bash. What would Fright Fest be without Monster Mash Bash? This is a nightly closing show that happens in Lone Star Lil's amphitheater. It is huge. There are pyrotechnics, there are singers, there are dancers, there is a live band. It is a huge production, and it is constantly revamped each year with new music and a new theme. So here is a clip from Monster Mash Bash last year. I know I talked about this at the beginning of the video. I highly encourage you guys to go check out our Fright Fest 2018 guide. There is actually a whole section of helpful tips, the dress code, and just things that we think you need to know before you go to Fright Fest this year, and it might answer a lot of questions that you may have. If you do have any questions for Fright Fest, please feel free to ask in the comments below. We'll try to get those answered to you. We're very excited for Fright Fest this year. We thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you hopefully at the park.